Hey, I'm Chris, and this is a devlog series about my upcoming game, Superstore Rush. This game is a store sim where you expand and manage your own superstore with plenty of challenges along the way. What you see playing in the background now is a dev build that's available on superstorerush.com if you're wanting to check it out. A few things to cover before we get stuck in. This is not a tutorial series on how to make a game, rather an insight into the process of how the game was actually made. This game is also a totally free game that'll be released on Steam and Google Play Store, and at the time of publishing this first video, it's available to wishlist on Steam. And lastly, I'm currently 2 months into development and I'm expecting to have things wrapped up within the next couple of weeks. In this first video, we'll look at setting up a lot of the basic game mechanics, so nothing will look pretty, but we'll get to that point further down the track. For the game, I decided to use the top-down engine along with a variety of models by Senti from the asset store. I started things off with some basic restocking mechanics for one of the shelf variants. So with the basic shelf mechanics done, I can easily duplicate the shelves. But then I needed a way to manage the shelves and deplete the stock, and then enable the restocking once they were empty. So I made a shelf manager and a shop manager to take care of that. So it picks a random shelf with stock, depletes at one level. Each shelf has 5 levels before being empty. Once they're empty, then move to a different list, ready to be restocked. Next, I've been working on the staffed checkouts. So the end goal for these is to allow you to hire a helper who can then serve your customers. These checkouts so far have 6 customer slots for them to queue in and a completed slot once you finish serving them. The checkouts also have a basic conveyor belt animation with a bunch of items that animate on a loop. I might look at improving that in the future, but I think it works okay for now. Next, I need the shop, shelf and checkout managers to all work together. As we can see here, we have 12 customers shopping and 12 at the checkouts. So when they spawn in, they'll spawn near the door, and a bit later on we'll get them spawning near the shelves. Then keeping in mind each of our checkouts has a maximum of 6 customers, so once we reach that limit, they won't be moved to the checkouts. And also once our shelves are depleted, it'll stop new customers from spawning in. And we can go to both our checkouts. Now that we have a bit more stock, you can see our customers are coming back into the shop. And we can go to either of the checkouts, serve our customers. Once we move, it'll pause the serving. And it will pick up where we left off when we come back. Next, I moved on to the controls for the game. So I wanted a joystick where I can touch anywhere on the screen. And it just becomes an adaptive controller. Then I can pick up an Xbox controller. And I can move around. And same for the keyboard. So it's completely adaptive. It'll look for any input from any of those devices. So at this point we're roughly a week into development and a lot of the basic game mechanics are starting to come together. In the next video we'll look at adding some things like a custom shader for when you purchase a shelf or a checkout. We'll start working on the actual shop design. We'll look at adding a self-serve checkout as well as save and load functionality for the game and a few other things. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.